What's up with it, YouTube? This is TK with Cuts by Kelly. Yeah, that's who I am. I have the other half of that design video I did on my son. On this video, we're just gonna focus on the fade work, not really on the design. If you want to see the design, then you can go and hit that link. Also, here is an update on my son's waves. You see that? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Just nothing but tight curls. And that's what I'm trying to combat. Go get the brush.
Me?
Yeah. Okay, do y'all see that? His waves are slowly trying to come in.
Aubrey?
So we still
Mercy
working
playing
on
with
it.
the rabbit.
And it's gonna happen. This is some dedication and hard work. You can see I haven't been sleep on him. I've been doing him, but I give him his break because he's 5, and so some days he don't want the do-rag on, and I'm not gonna sometimes I just put it on because I want him to get the waves, but then other times I just let him do his thing. So right now it's kind of weak because I think the last few days he's been out, also spending the night out, so I know he wasn't getting his hair brushed, getting the do-rags and all that good stuff like that. So but with that being said, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. If there's any other things that you would like to see, you can put that in the comments. Hit the notification bell. There's more to come. Yeah, that's what it is. It's TK with Cuts by Kelly. Make sure you enjoy the video and hit the subscribe button. Alright, we have my son here. We're gonna knock his hair down with a 1 guard close, but I'm not gonna show that part. I think y'all should be able to accomplish that. So I did a 1/8 guard closed and I knocked his hair down. I went with the grain. Here I'm making my bottom line, my ball line to set up for my fade. But I'm not gonna start fading. I'm gonna go on the other side and do a rough draft of my design. And the purpose of this is so I can see where the design is going to end, because I'm not sure where it's going to end at. But since I set that up, then I'll know where to stop my fade at, if that makes sense to you. So right now I balled the other side, and then here I am just setting up the perimeter of the design, and then I continue to fade the other side because I know exactly where my design will end. So we doing our fading steps now. I'm going to go all the way open with no guard, and I'm setting the middle line, and this is just to help me so I can know where I'm at when I'm fading. So you can see I got my ball line at the bottom. This is the middle line that I'm setting, and then we got our very top line of the fade. And I'm going to knock down this hair even more. I took the clippers and I'm just going with the grain, all the way open with the grain. So that's going to be the highest height of his hair. You can also go against the grain with your zero guard all the way open to get that same length. Yeah, I just want to give you that information so you'll know. But so now, here we're starting from the bottom and we're going to fade all the way up. The fading steps are close, quarter, 3/4 open. So the good thing with these masks, like I always say, it's like a cheat because they give you those notches on the side, those little dots on the side, so you can see where you're at in the fade. But if you don't have these type of clippers, you won't have it. But I have a fading step video, and I'm gonna leave that in the up here on the link, so you can just check that out, so you can understand what I'm saying when I mention go close, quarter, 3/4, then open. So now we have our zero guard on, or it's the 1/16 guard, and we have it closed. The clipper is closed, and we're starting from that middle line that we set at the beginning. Then we're gonna open it up a little bit to a quarter of the way. Then we're gonna go up. And when you're going up each step, you wanna go back and forth like I'm doing, just so you can go over that level thoroughly. So now we got it open 3/4 of the way. We're going one way, then we go back and we go over it again. So you can see me going over those areas again, because you just want to give the clipper a chance to cut all the hair in each of those levels. That's real important, because if you just go over it one time, you're going to miss some hairs, and that will cause you to have a lot of spots that you have to try to clean up when you get to the spot check. So just be mindful of that. So now we're about to go over the fade again. You can see I'm at the bottom, and I'm using the corner of my lining clippers to knock out that ball line that we set initially. So now I'm just gonna go over the whole fading steps all over again. And like I mentioned before, the purpose of this is when you go over it one time, most of the time it won't be done. So you just want to go back over it just to make sure you get all those hairs that you was missing the first time you went over it. So you can see I'm going back and forth just to make sure I get the hairs. Now I'm going to open up my clipper and do each step again. And this is going to really bring out the fade. So as we go through this fade, I hope y'all can see how it's coming together. It's looking better as we go through these steps. And this is pretty much how it goes. You just start with your setting your guidelines, the ball line, your middle line, and you have your top line, and then you just go through those fading steps. And right now we're just going through those fading steps, making sure each one of those levels are even. So here we're at the spot check. This is when we went over the fading steps enough. Now we're just seeing different spots throughout the fade that we want to deal with. So that's what this is. And I also call it cleanup. We just want to make the fade look a little more clean. So I'm just going throughout the fade, and whatever spot I see, I want to get it out. So a lot of times when I'm doing spot check, I'm doing it with no guard, because I'm just trying to catch that one little spot and knock it out. It's real important that you know where you're at in the fade, and that's why we set those guidelines at the beginning, because we don't want to go all the way to the top with no guard on and then we take off too much hair. So when we set those guidelines, we know where we're at in the fade. So when we come to the spot check to make it look better, we know when we need to put on the guard, like I'm doing now, to get those spots out. So I want to tell you that I'm not showing the design in this video, because in my previous video I broke down how I did the design. So if you're interested in that, you can just hit this link and look at that video. But for this video, we're just focusing on the fade side of this haircut. So here in the back, you can see we went down on a slope, like on a slant downward when we get to this design. And we're doing that for a purpose, because on the left side of his head, the haircut is all even, and on his right side we have the fade. So we're just trying to make this fade blend into that all even seamlessly. So that's why we took that angle, so the fade can kind of fall off going downward, and the rest of it is just going to be all even, but it still looks good. So now we're on repeat. Went through the fading steps, so now we're about to do our little spot check in this area. Whatever we see that we don't like, we're just going to touch it up to get all those dark spots out and make the fade look even better. So that's what I'm doing right here, just a little spot check. Alright, it's time for the lining. Just the end of the haircut basically, or the edge up, however you want to call it, but we call it the lining. So I just knocked down this hair a little bit, and here I go. Just going in, and we're going to set one side up, and then we're going to match the other side. But typically I start from the middle, just so I can be able to level off each side equally. Something with the linings, and I was mentioning that I like to start from the middle because you'll be surprised how many people natural lining is not even straight, which is not a problem. The thing is, most people want their lining straight, so that's where the problem is, because naturally it doesn't have to be straight, it could be however it is, but normally when they come in the chair they want you to make it straight as possible, and then that could cause some issues because one side might be higher than the other and you have to make it straight or try to make it look straight. So that's why I start from the middle, because then once I set the line in the middle, then I can look straight at it, and when I'm looking at it I can see if the right side is higher and if the left side is lower, and then that lets me know what I have to do for the lining. So you can see on his hair I got the rough draft done with the lining, and now I'm just going to go over it again just so I can make sure each side is level and it's straight. So here is the cut. We got the lining looking sharp, and we have our design right here looking sharp as well. And I did not use a razor on any of this, so that should be encouraging for you, the beginner, or you who are cutting your kids' hair at the house. This is something you can accomplish. Just make sure you as you're trying to do it, just look at the video and play it back and forth, so you'll be able to do the same thing to your child or to one of your clients. If you like it, please hit the like button. So now that that's done, I hope that you're feeling a little more confident in your fades, also in your designs. I'll be doing some more designs just to help anybody out on their designs, and also if you just want to try it, you know. But really the fade is real important when you think about barbering. The designs are extra, but if your fades are nice, that's what really makes your haircut stand out as well. So I'm hoping the breakdown is simple enough for you and that you can understand and that you feel confident each and every time you watch my videos. So if there's more that I can put in or less that I can put in, put that in the comments. I really appreciate the interaction, and it also helps my channel when you leave a comment and you hit the like button and the notification bell and all those good things. But whatever you do, make sure you subscribe. This is TK with Cuts by Kelly, and I appreciate you.